welcome everybody for the last of the 3 Reggies. If you are new here, quick disclaimer to check the description down below for a link to the Google Sheets, which I use in literally all of my videos. Super important, you can check out every single move, buff, and change, and new name, and all this fun stuff in the description down below. There are tons of new moves and move buffs, and everything is super important, so definitely give that a look while you're looking at the sheets, because these moves do have a giant impact on how the Pokemon function. That being said, if I can let this load, Registeel. So all 3 of the Reggies do have a new ability which reduces the damage taken from super effective attacks, which is just very fitting for all 3 of them to have, in my opinion. The other 2 have 150 offenses and 200 and 100 defenses, while Registeel always was the more well-rounded of the 2. So in exchange for having one even 150 defenses, he has debatably worse 100 mixed offenses. To make up for that, he has the secondary ability Steelworker, however. Steelworker being Dhelmize's previously signature ability, which I've given to a few more Pokemon. And what that does, Registeel is actually the only Pokemon that is Steel type of Steelworker in this hack so far, and probably in total, because Klinklang is probably going to have something else. But Registeel with Steelworker is actually insanely powerful, because Steelworker gives you a 50% boost to your stats. So not only, it's actually stronger than adaptability. So, adaptability is a flat 2 times boost, while Steelworker is actually, if you multiply it with stab, it's a 2.25 times boost. So you also have very high power stab moves like Flash Cannon being 110 base power, 90% accuracy, of course, that's the drawback, but still a great move. Heavy Slam, Mirror Shot being basically old Flash Cannon, Magnetic Burst being 55 base power plus 2 priority special Steel priority. So yeah, your special Steel move pool is a little bit stronger, but you still have stuff like Iron Head, Smart Strike, and Heavy Slam on the physical side, so those aren't bad at all. And you have great coverage on both sides. So, and then of course you have Bullet Punch for priority on the physical side as well. So that's all really fucking awesome, and that's really strong with 100 base offenses. Obviously your coverage moves aren't boosted by that, but it's still, your coverage is very good, and you have tons of things to hit, things that resist Steel. You got the Elemental, you got Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, Drain Punch, Focus Blast, Aura Sphere, Brick Break, Power Punch, Shadow Punch, Earth Power, Earthquake, all kinds of stuff right there. Seismic Fist. You can see all of these, what all these new moves do, and all the new effects of them in the description down below. So, yeah, pure Steel type is obviously an incredible defensive type. 85, 150, 150 bulk with filter is very fucking tanky, as he should be, because these guys are literally just ancient golems. I wish they were way stronger than they were, and now they are, and I'm really happy about that. So while the other 2 do have a higher offensive stat than Registeel, despite the fact that Ice typing is buffed and has 4 resistances, Steel still has the most resistances out of these 3 typings, so it's kind of fair. It evens out. He's a little bit weaker, but again, Steelworker is very powerful, so it's really great nonetheless. All 3 of them also have access to a reliable recovery move, with Registeel's being Fortify. Keep in mind, in this ROM hack, you do not have access to healing items in battle, so you can't heal in battle. Another thing to keep in mind is that I did balance every ability set to be equally viable. So for example, you switch between your abilities with the infinite use ability capsule, which is given to you at the beginning of the game. So you should be switching your abilities around depending on the situation to make the most out of your Pokemon, and to beat the boss fight that's coming up ahead. So you're not always going to be running Steelworker, you're not always going to be running Filter. Yeah, Filter is tempting, and a lot of casual players might just want to slap that on because it's a bulky Pokemon, but the power of Steelworker is not to be underestimated whatsoever. It's very, very, very strong. Same goes for all the other Pokemon's abilities in this hack, so definitely keep that in mind as well. Another thing to keep in mind is you do have access to infinite use EV training items that you can easily just change your EVs at will. So having mixed attacking stats is actually a lot less cumbersome than it used to be, because you can easily just one boss fight, teach Flash Cannon TM, teach Aura Sphere, teach Earth Power, blah blah blah, and then keep Fortify, whatever you want to run, or Volt Switch. There's so much utility, so much offensive presence, but also a lot of utility, obviously. Stuff like Strange Impulse dropping special attack, Metal Sound dropping special defense, T-Wave, fucking knockoff, like all this great utility stuff. It's so awesome. Volt Switch is great. Assault Vest Registeel will be really awesome with like Volt Switch and Parabolic Charge, or Volt Switch and Drain Punch to heal and switch out. And being like a slow pivot is great, because all the offensive stuff in the hack, it would be easy to get your frail attacker on the field easier if you use like slow pivots like this. So yeah, all of them do have 15 speed as well, just for logical reasons. In my opinion, they should be super fucking slow just looking at them. And I also just wanted more stats, to be honest. If you can't tell, I really fucking love the Reggies. I have a little shrine of plushies on my wall dedicated to them, because they're just so cool, in my opinion. Super underrated Pokemon. Yeah, something like Detonate could be pretty cool. Z Lock-On gives you +2 special attack, which is nice if you don't want to use Calm Mind or Bulk Up, but those are all great as well, as well as Iron Defense and Amnesia with Fortify to heal yourself. It's just a monster of a Pokemon. I didn't mention this in the other 2 videos, by the way, so if you are listening to all 3, first of all, thank you for listening to all my videos all the way through. That helps way more than you think, so comment down below if you're the person who does that. That's really helpful. But what I will mention is that legendaries are balanced to be usable in this hack from the point that you obtain them. So from the second you can get the legendaries, they are balanced to be like fair. They aren't overpowered or anything. They're normal Pokemon. You can use them. I mean, yeah, maybe if you had like a full team of 6 of like all legendaries that you get from the Ultra Wormholes and Island Scan and whatever, yeah, it might be kind of excessive. But like, you know, even if you have 2 or even 3 of them at a time, it's totally fine. Maybe kind of strong, but like it's fine. It's balanced for that. So yeah, and I really like that because you never get to use legendaries in other games. So especially like all of the weirder legendaries that are just kind of shit, like the Regis, for example, you never get to use them. So yeah, super awesome. Lastly, Ancient Force is a 110 base power move that changes type depending on the held plate. So you can get any coverage move. So you can get fire or water, whatever you want on a Registeel, which is awesome. And that's 132 base power with the plate effect taken into consideration. So that's all really awesome. He's got tons of other powerful coverage moves that I could talk about, but I'm not going to waste the time talking about every single little option. You can check out that in the description down below for yourself. If you listened this far, again, thank you so much. Make sure you're subscribed if you are not already. That would be super helpful for me. I'm trying to hit 1K soon, so thank you so much, everybody. That's about it for the Regis. So yeah, link in the description down below for the changes. Also for my Discord server. Thank you so much for listening, and goodbye.